Well, you first are cooperating to find out if the Mafia killed your dad.
Yes.
But ultimately, you never found that out.
No.
So you actually regret cooperating in the first place.
Yes. I think there might have been a time, after being around the wise guys as I was, and there's only, listen, most of the wise guys are going to tell you, this is the truth, maybe somebody might not tell you, most of them are out for themselves. Now, when I was around Dominic tried to help me out in the street, make money, do this and that. I mean, he was always there for me. And I'm not saying this because, I still talk to him and everything like that. He really did that in the street. I don't have to lie about here. I don't have to lie about it in my courtroom when I did it. I don't have to lie on my podcast. I don't have to lie on the Goodfellow podcast that I'm involved with. Okay? He actually helped me, but that's very rare in between. Most of these guys get jealous if you're making an extra few dollars than them, or if the boss took a liking to you, or, if you got invited someplace and they didn't. We're all human beings. These people get jealous, and when they get jealous, they mess with you. They might say, I don't know, why is he doing this, or why is he doing that? Look, you can't walk up to it. You're smart. Obviously, you got a great show. You're doing great for yourself. Okay, so now imagine me coming up to you and telling you, listen, I got another show. You're going to be like, why are you bringing it to me? I'm doing okay. Why you want to help me with this great thing that I'm doing? Well, the wise guys say the same thing. You can't just walk up to them and say, I got a good deal. They'll listen to it for a few minutes. But, you need to know what's what here. These guys are sharp. Some of them anyways.
Well, right. And you just mentioned your podcast.
That's right.
Tell us about it.
Oh, yeah. The Goodfellow podcast. Yeah, I just started it now. It's in its first legs. I'm still getting it going. And I've been telling a lot of stories about my childhood, my family, some friends I grew up with and stuff like that. And it's growing. But I appreciate you allowing me to mention that.
Absolutely. Well, Joe Barone, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, Vlad.
People are going to make judgments of you, and especially on the internet, everyone likes to feel like they're super gangsters, and if they were put in that position, they would have done 100 years and not told, but that's not the reality of life.
No.
I've interviewed dozens and dozens of people who have cooperated, and everyone's had their own reason for doing it. Some reasons people agree with, some people don't agree with the reasons, but ultimately, it's your life, it's your future, and you have to decide whether you want to stay in a jail cell for decades or if you want to cooperate. And whatever that decision is, I respect it. So
thank you, Vlad.
Ultimately, I'm not going to be the one judging you.
Thank you.
You've made your own decision and you're out, and a lot of people are still in prison right now holding on to a set of ideals that the people they're protecting probably wouldn't have done the same in return.
Listen, sometimes some people have an opportunity to cooperate and some people don't either.
Yeah.
I was just in a certain position at my lifestyle that I was. Like I said before, do I think it was right or wrong? Of course not. I don't think it was right. It's a decision I made at that time. And I have to live with it now. That's the problem. I have to live with it for the rest of my life.
Because if you could turn back time.
Knowing what I know now?
Yeah.
Of course.
You would have done it because you would have done roughly the same amount of time without cooperating.
I just would have been in jail a lot longer. Now, don't get me wrong.
A lot longer or a few years longer?
Well, it might have been a long time, because if I would have been on a Mikey Knows Mancuso hit and they would have found out that I was the guy that pulled the trigger too, I might have been doing life too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But also remember one thing too. If anybody tells you I don't care about how many years I do in prison, that's not true. Yeah. Everybody cares. Nobody wants to go away. Of
course not.
But, there are some people that have done, I've seen people done 25 years and they didn't bat an eye, so.
Yeah.
It all
I'm
depends.
sure on the inside they were crying.
Of course.
Every night.
That's it. When I was in Otisville, there was a guy, Funzy, in there, and he was pretty good. And he says, you're always happy. He said, but it's killing you inside. I went, what am I going to do, Funzy? I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were right about that.
Well, Joe Barone, I appreciate you coming in. Wish you all the best.
Yep. And it was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
You too.
Peace.